Yo, what's up, folks? Look, while I know today's date and a lot of you all are celebrating a holiday that I don't particularly celebrate, as you can see by my shirt during this season, I want to tell you a little bit about what I do celebrate. It's the revolutionary tale of Hanukkah, right? And this evening, it does start the first day of Hanukkah, but I want to talk to you about it in a way where I'm pretty sure you've never really heard about it before. You probably heard about a dreidel, some candles, some oil, and all that good stuff. But really, it's not just a holiday. It's a celebration of a story of defiance, it's just a story of faith, of a people who dared to fight what was rightfully theirs from the Most High. It's actually the only story that I found in the King James Bible that speaks of a revolution by God's people while they're in captivity. And yet, did you know that it was actually removed from the version of the King James Bible that we see today, that was given to our ancestors by their slave masters? And I believe that's because they feared the power of the story. It's a story of revolution, of our people, of reclaiming what was theirs. And so it wasn't enough for them not to let us learn how to read. They had to remove that story just in case we found out how to read, and that would get out, because that one would be big. But again, tonight's the first night of Hanukkah, so I want to dive a little bit into this tale and show what it means for me as a Black entrepreneur. Because, entrepreneurship, as you all know, is my revolution. It's my fight for liberty. It's what I believe is the way to reclaim what has been stolen from us by systems designed to oppress us. And just like the Maccabees, who the story of Hanukkah is about, I believe that it is the Most High who propels us forward. Now, so I'm gonna jump into it. So to understand the power of Hanukkah, as I like to call it, you got to go back to that time. It was during the Greek Empire. The Jews were under siege. Hebrews, were under siege. They were forced to bow to foreign gods, celebrate pagan holidays, eat forbidden, unclean foods, and even the temple was desecrated. And their culture was suppressed, for lack of a better term. And they really sought to take their entire identity, their faith, their very existence. Does that sound a little bit familiar? Just checking. But then came the Maccabees. They were a small group of revolutionaries who refused to compromise. They saw the desecration of their temple and was like, look, this has got to stop. Now, they didn't have a whole bunch of resources, a whole bunch of political power, but they still rose up and they stood for what they believed was what God wanted. And they reclaimed the temple, they cleared out the idols, restored the sanctity, and rededicated to the Most High, Jehovah, our God. But what was really important about it is their faith was uncompromising. Their fight was bold, and their victory was nothing short of miraculous. Now, I get it. We've heard the story of the 8 days of the oil lasting. Now, that is a miracle, yes. But for me, I believe that the real miracle that happened was their audacity to stand up against an empire to reclaim what was actually theirs, their identity, what it is. There's even a song, as I think about it, a reggae song called Bring Back Maccabees Version, the Bible for the Black Man, or something like that. And I encourage you to listen to it because it talks a bit about how and why it was taken out and even how it could benefit us as a people. All right, so now I want to bring this home, right? Does this story not sound a little bit familiar? Are we not as a people also facing systems that seem to be designed to oppress us, to deny us our independence, our wealth, our legacy, even our identity, right? And so I look at, like I said, when I look at the story of Hanukkah and the Maccabees, I look at it as a revolution, and I see entrepreneurship as a revolution. Because for me, it's not just a business endeavor. It is a revolutionary act. In the spirit of my ancestors, the Maccabees is truly alive today. Because look here, when you start a business, especially when you decide to go full time, you're declaring your independence. You're saying that I'm not going to be limited by what others tell me I can or cannot achieve. I'm going to define my own identity. You're reclaiming the temple of your potential that has been desecrated by systemic oppression. And just like the Maccabees, you don't need vast armies of unlimited resources. You don't need political power. You don't even need legislation to win this fight. You need faith and you need boldness. You need an uncompromising commitment to the principles that are inside you and the God-given gifts that He's put inside you to make it happen. Now, to be real, our system today, it's generational cycles of poverty. It's a mindset. That is the modern day empire that we fight against. But I got good news. This is a fight we can win. And our Maccabees, they remind us that revolution does not start with vast numbers. It starts with a small group of people who believe, and entrepreneurs, we're the ones who believe. Now, before I get deep into all the lessons that I got from it, I want to tell you just a few things that I remember from those stories. Number one, these folks, they stood firm on their principles and they did not compromise. Like, there was a mother who she and her sons were sacrificed. There was a man, an old man, who they wanted him to eat unclean foods and he wouldn't do it. He got sacrificed. And they want him to fake doing it. He wouldn't do it. He's like, he didn't even want to be a bad example. And so this generation, we have to be the ones to make sure that not only are we doing well for ourselves, but we're really setting a standard for the young people that are around us, that are in our lives, that may see and know what we do even later on. Like, what do you think that when Yeshua, Jesus, came and they were like, are you the one or should we look for another? They were really ready for him to start a revolution again, because they were the ones, and along with Jesus himself, celebrating this every year, the Hannakuh, which is why it's a tradition today amongst Jewish people. So, okay, not gonna get too deep into that. But what I do want to talk about is, okay, so I know people be thinking that my background be fake, but I was really outside my driveway and it got really cold, so I decided to come in here. So anyway, there's some powerful lessons that I think we can learn from the Maccabees. The first one is faith over fear, right? They fought because they believed that God was with them and what they were doing was their purpose, right? So we as entrepreneurs, we have to know this, that God is with us. Our vision, our purpose, our drive is divinely inspired, that we can really work by faith and work in that faith. Then they had a power of a committed few. They were very much outnumbered. And, but they weren't undeterred. See, because success doesn't require massive following or unlimited resources. It just requires unshakable belief and consistent and constant action, bold action at that. Then legacy and impact. The fight was not for just themselves. It was for their people, for their heritage, and for the future. And I'm telling you right now, the things that I'm doing, the things that you're doing, that work is for the future. It's not just for our profit. It's for legacy. It's for generations ahead. And that call to action to fight a good fight. Again, as I said before, there's a song called Bring Back the Maccabees Version. It's a rally cry for revolution and reclamation. And that's what I'm asking y'all for tonight, for these next 8 days. Think about it. Get into the fight. Fight for your independence. Fight for your liberty. Fight for that vision. And I'm not saying go take up arms. I'm saying do it financially. Do it through economics, collective economics. Do it willingly. You have to reclaim that. Every client you serve, every dollar you earn, every barrier you break, you're lighting one of those 8 candles miraculously for the revolution. Now today, we are those Maccabees, if you choose to be. Because not everybody wants to do it. Because it's not easy. But it is necessary. And I really hope that as I finish this video, that you think about the menorah. Think about what's on my shirt. It's the light. It's a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of resilience. A symbol of faith. That even resources are scarce, faith and bold actions can create miracles. So again, over the next 8 days, be reminded of this revolution of faith, of action, of uncompromising commitment to principles. This is our moment. Reclaim our independence, lead boldly, and light the way for others. So again, I say happy Hanukkah to all of you all. May Jehovah the Most High guide you in your revolution. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like, share, tag somebody that you might want to hear it. I love to even hear your comments about, what you think I said. I know it might offend some folks that I don't celebrate Christmas. I say, and I'm not getting into all of why I don't. There are people who can explain that a lot better than me. I'll just say it's because I read the Bible a lot. So I will holler at y'all later. Peace.
Let me talk to you for a second. You've been posting, grinding, doing everything they told you to do, and somehow you're still invisible. You're putting in the time, the effort, the creativity, but your results don't match your work. And deep down, you know
because you're not good enough. You are good enough. You've always been good enough. But you've been trapped in the wrong strategy, trying to hustle your way into rooms that only open when people see you as the authority. So stop knocking. Start showing them who you already are.
The moment you understand that, everything starts to make sense. Because attention is not authority, effort is not authority, posting is not authority.
Authority is built when you package your message the right way, so people believe before you even open your mouth.
When you create that one asset that defines who you are, your voice, your story, your credibility, everything shifts. People stop scrolling past you. They stop doubting you. They stop asking, why should I listen? Because now they already know. And that leap you've been avoiding, that framework you've been holding in your head, that's your suit. That's your mask. That's your canon event. That's what turns you from someone they overlook into someone they chase.
Most experts never take the leap. They stay stuck in the same universe, making the same moves, repeating the same patterns, hoping something finally breaks loose. But authority doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision, by action, by building the thing that positions you as the one.
I've watched people with half your talent take the leap, and everything in their world expanded. New clients, new rooms, new opportunities, all because they finally built the authority that matched their ability.
This is your moment, your leap. Not next month, not next year, right now. If you're ready to step into your authority and finally be seen for who you are, register now. I'll show you exactly how to do it.